Firstly, welcome, and my name is Aziz Akkaya. My project advisor is Akkaya, and my project names is to DOF helicopter system. DOF stands as in for degree of freedom. Let's start. Let's start with the contents. The contents are in the order of project definition, design requirements, criteria, as for concluding references. For the definition, the definition is to design a mobile controller to give the utility for a 2DOF helicopter system as a mobile device, as in for mobile device, it will be act as a remote controller. The DOF system has limitations. It cannot move in a free space. It will just stuck in one z coordinates, and it will move in the other directions. That will mean the 2 degrees of freedom. The project design is simple. The actor sends the data through its phone, where the phone stands in the space, and that data will be sent through a wireless communication and it will be received from the microcontroller's wireless communication module, and then the controller examines the received data and move itself according to the data. Of course, these have some limitations, whereas the mechanical structure does not allow the helicopter to move the exact position in the space where the remote controller stands. So there will be some limitations for that part. As for requirements, firstly, I need to build a mechanical structure for the helicopter, and after that, I need to build a fully functional hardware that will support the project. After this step, establishing a drive between the controller and electrical motors, that will have tests which just dummy tests that will check how the system behaves. After that, building a wireless communication between a mobile device and the controller. This part will show us the data that will be lost, which I will be talking in success criteria. And after that, building a mobile device that will send the data to controller, and lastly, implementing operating system for the microcontroller. For the requirements too, for the hardware part, I need ARM STM32 microcontroller, a wireless module that won't have a compatibility problem, a gyroscopic sensor, and a mobile device for remote controller. For the software part, the requirements are to learn embedded C for microcontroller, and for the mobile application part, Flutter will be needed. For the success criteria, 0.1 seconds of response time will be the first criteria, which means the time between the controller moves and the response from the helicopter that will change itself. This will be the response time. And second criteria is 80% of position accuracy. As I told before, there will be limitations for the DOF helicopter's mechanism that don't allow the helicopters to move exactly the same position as the remote controller stands. And lastly, 5% of loss in data transmission. wireless communications data loss will determine this criteria. As for conclusion, these are my references, and thank you for listening. If I need to change something that will help the project, let me know.